Now, on this program and elsewhere on Sky News, we've analysed some of Sharri Markson's reporting on the origins of COVID-19. Sharri, as you know, hosts a weekly program on Sky News on Sunday nights, and she's broken stories on that issue at the Daily Telegraph before moving back to the Australian, where she's continuing to pursue the China virus and is about to publish a book too, probing everything we know about the origins of the virus. Some of her reports have caused such a stir that she's been interviewed on Fox News in the US, and her revelations have been taken up with US politicians. At its heart, Sharri's reporting has focused on the concerns of Western governments and considerable evidence that the virus did not emerge naturally through animals at a wet market, as China wants everyone to believe, but rather leaked accidentally from the Wuhan Institute of Virology. The evidence shows the institute was working with earlier coronaviruses, that it shut for a few weeks around the time the virus probably leaked, and that the institute was involved in biological research for the Chinese military. Still, Markson does not assert that this is what happened. Rather, she says that the US and other countries are investigating that theory, that there's a strong likelihood this could be what happened, human error sparking an accidental global pandemic. There's hardly a more important story in the world. Yet, bizarrely, some media are more interested in dissing Sharri's reporting rather than finding out what happened. And Eric Bagshaw and Anthony Galloway were at it again this week in the Sydney Morning Herald, attacking Markson's reporting, this time not because they claimed it was wrong, but bizarrely because some of the crucial information was publicly available. Wow, how about that? Bringing relevant, publicly available information to the public's attention. Some might call that journalism. The Guardian Australia echoed the Herald's attack today in a piece by its media gossip writer, no less, adding nothing save for bagging Markson and accepting the line from Beijing. Still, there is something about the Sydney Morning Herald's latest attack that gives away their whole agenda and also proves the very point of Sharri Markson's reporting. Here's their attempt to dismiss her reporting just over a year ago. Note the headline referring to her unfounded claims. So a year ago, they claimed Sharri's story was unfounded. Yet in this week's attack on her reporting, deep in the article, they said American intelligence services are still probing the Wuhan lab leak theory and that Australia has not ruled it out. That's exactly what Sharri has revealed over the past year. And what's more, they quote their own sources from both governments, saying the probability of the lab leak theory is as high as 40%. So there's an almost 50% chance that Beijing is wrong, that their line is wrong. They condemn Markson for investigating and claiming that China might not be telling the truth, but now they actually concede exactly the same point. The virus might have come from the lab, at least a 40% chance. That's not only a belated acceptance of reality, it's also an own goal for their criticism. What are the chances the Herald will apologise to Markson? Would they be as high as 40%? Let's see what the panel thinks about this now. Joining me in the studio is broadcaster and author Kel Richards. Good to see you, Kel.
G'day.
And joining us from Melbourne is the Australian's media writer Sophie Ellsworth. Sophie, the Herald now, while they criticise Sharri Markson, have come to the same conclusion.
It's quite remarkable, Chris. I mean, they've done a backflip here. Sharri's done some incredible work here. She's been tenacious and followed this story right through. And now the Fairfax papers, or Nine, should I say, have done a backflip and are starting to come around on this, that this isn't all conspiracy theories and there appears to be some truth to it. So top marks for Sharri for sticking with this and hopefully getting closer to the truth of what really did happen over there in China.
Yeah, Kel, there's hardly a more important story in the world, is there? And there'll be all sorts of theories and lots of evidence, and surely that's the role of journalists, is to probe it, to push it, to prod it, to try to get to the truth.
And one of the interesting things is how reasonable and calm Shari's voice has been. This has not been a hysterical attack. This has not been something outrageous. She keeps saying, we're still investigating, they don't have all the evidence, but this is possible, this needs to be on the table. Very reasonable, sensible, down-to-earth stuff. I keep wondering if the people launching the attacks are all New Zealand agents, because they've become like New Zealand glove puppets for Beijing, haven't they?
They have indeed.